Hi there, I'm Felicia with Compass Land USA, your go-to resource for great deals on rural and vacant land. I have another land blog video to share with you today. So today we're looking at the 5 site characteristics you need to look at before buying raw land for development in Cape Coral. So if you're looking to invest in undeveloped land, keep watching because we're going to look at 5 key characteristics you'll need to evaluate before buying land for development in Cape Coral. So the first one is legal area. In many residential areas, boundary markers like fences, sidewalks, and roads mark the legal boundaries of your home, of your home's property. But with vacant land, it's not always as clear. Depending on where the land is, it can be difficult to tell where your property ends and another one begins. In areas like Cape Coral, because it's built up already, it's normally pretty easy to tell where one property starts and another begins, especially if you're looking at land to develop inside an existing subdivision. Before you even invest, make sure you know exactly where the legal boundaries of your property are so you don't develop beyond those boundaries. That can get you in a really sticky situation, like a lawsuit. Like it just turns out to be a really expensive mistake to correct. If it can be corrected, it's just a mess. You definitely don't want to get involved in that. If you're not sure where those site boundaries are, you should bring in a surveyor and they'll be able to mark them for you. So number 2, zoning. Municipalities will zone different areas in order to control and encourage growth. After all, no homeowner wants a garbage dump or a noisy factory beside them, right? Zoning will restrict what you can build. So if you're investing to develop the land, or if you're planning to sell to a developer, make sure you know what can be built on the property. This is important in an area like Cape Coral, where there's actually a really good blend of both residential and commercial investing going on. In fact, despite the new working from home trend caused by the coronavirus pandemic, Cape Coral is slated to be one of the top 10 commercial real estate markets for 2021. So the zoning of the property will impact what you can do with it for both residential and commercial categories. If you are not sure how to check the zoning of a property, you can get a free copy of our Florida land buying checklist. I go through exactly how to check the zoning, step-by-step instructions, and you can get a free copy of the checklist by clicking the link in the description. So site characteristic 3 is drainage. When it rains, a lot of water soaks into the ground, but in heavy rainfall, not all of it will immediately soak in. So when it rains or when the snow melts, not that you need to worry about snow in Florida, but where does the water go? Knowing the drainage lines of your property will help you know where to develop so you don't, let's say, build a house where the basement always floods, right? Everyone knows someone who's had to redo their basement multiple times, and this is especially important in Florida. The state elevation is so low that investors here need to be aware of water mitigation and management. So even if you don't like the drainage line, you can often change it within reason, obviously. You'll have to contact the county for next steps in the process on that. So it's always good to know where the water drains before you start building any structures or modifying the property. So characteristic number 4, stability for structures. Vacant land has so many promising possibilities, but not all land is appropriate for every use, right? The makeup of the soil will determine if and where a structure should be built on the property, and even how deep you need to dig to end up with a very sturdy, dry structure. In Cape Coral, like the rest of Florida, the soil is mostly wet and sandy. Reputable builders and developers local to that area will have the expertise and experience required to make sure that your structure is built properly with a solid foundation. If you're from out of state and you're looking to move or retire to Florida and you're searching for Cape Coral land for sale, You may want to chat with a builder or developer about this, just so you have a better understanding of how it's going to work, and also so that you can check that they know what they're talking about. Characteristic number 5, path of growth. Want to know the best place to buy vacant land? It's easy. It's in an area that's going to be developed in the future. The value of your investment will rise as demand increases for the land around it, right? So determine the path of growth so you can know where your next land investment should be. And Cape Coral is in a great position in this regard. The city has a ton of appeal, including over 400 miles of waterways, which is actually more than Venice, which is normally what people think of when they think of famous canal cities. So actually much more than Venice, and has close proximity to other cities like Naples and Fort Myers. Plus, it's on the Gulf Coast, which has long been a desirable retirement and vacation location. Now, you may think all this appeal would price you out of the market, but with a median household income of $57,000 and a median property value of $214,000, it might be much more affordable than you think. Vacant land has historically been a compelling investment. After all land was vacant at some point, right? Everything came without structures and buildings. So if you want to buy land within the Cape Coral area, make sure you check out those 5 site characteristics before buying any raw land for development there. If you found this video helpful, or if you want to leave a comment and say hello, please do that. I love to hear from you guys. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be the first to know when we publish a new custom property tour. And we do that for all the properties in our inventory, as well as these land blog videos and tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.